My guest for the morning, Samson Ahe, is a member of parliament for Bodi, but also the Deputy Minister for Water Resources, Works and Housing. A very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
How was your weekend? How did you mark the Easter?
Yeah, I went to my constituency and we attended several church services and organized.
You made some donations?
Of course, collection.
Okay,
and
yeah. All right, so I also have Henry Kwabna Kokofu. He's a member of parliament for Bantama. Nana, Akome.
Boko.
Fantastic. Easter, we didn't sing. How did you celebrate your Easter?
Yes, usually greetings to Nana Kokofu and Alaji Baumia. Yes, he clocked 72 years about 2 days ago. Indeed, immediately when we were smarting out of the Easter Monday, he got 72 years. We thank God for his life and we pray for him. Easter wasn't that bad, except that the economic situation took away the euphoria. Yet, we the believers, we know that Jesus Christ, being the Son of God, crucified, and on the third day resurrected, and on the Monday ascended to heaven to the Father. So we take consolation in the fact that, yes, we have a Savior, a divine one that we can always look up to. So disregard of the economic hardships and the pain, the suffering that the people of Ghana are going through, we have to...
That the NDC are taking Ghanaians through.
Yes, the government, the NDC government is taking Ghanaians through.
Yeah, you're doing politics too with Easter.
Yes, I'll do with Easter, yes. Because it's part of Easter. It's part of life. Politics is part of everything. So we atone our pain, our sins and everything with the blood of Jesus.
Well, the politics was not part of
the
Easter.
I don't like these such politics.
Then don't talk about it.
But because the
did you have any well wishes for Nanado at 72? Did you also try to?
No, I didn't get a chance to do it, but I can do it.
Oh, do it.
Yes,
Say something nice.
Yeah, I think I wish him well, and he has done well. I mean, achieving 72 years in life, it's not a mean achievement. So I wish him and his family very well.
All right. Let's look at this. Dr. Henry Kofi Wampa. I think today will be his last day in office. And it's all because he should have been ending his term 3 months from now. But we all know that he's leaving, I think, 3 months short of the period that he needs to. There's been concerns that your government forced him out.
Oh, no. I think that we should be serious in this country. And some of these things, we shouldn't play politics with it. The man was given a mandate. In fact, even in the public sector, if you are going on retirement, you proceed on leave 3 months in lieu of your retirement.
They call it terminal leave.
Yes. And so, if officially he was due to retire in June, per the arrangements in the public sector, he has to proceed by the end of March. So nobody forced him, and he himself has come out. He himself has come out, and even he wanted to even leave earlier. But according to him, the president prevailed upon him to hold on, to continue, because there was some work to be done. So somebody who wanted to leave earlier than March, and the president appealing to him not to leave, but continue. How would the same president force him to leave?
Well, those are
Is it not contradictory?
Those were his words that the president wanted him to. But the president is somebody also who criticized him in the State of the Nation address about how the Bank of Ghana, which he leads, was not able to even superintend over some of those microfinancial institutions that were involved in those scandals.
Yeah, but so if the president wanted to relieve him of his post, he could have done it. I mean, nobody can decide for the president. He's the executive president.
Sure.
So today he can decide to revoke the appointment. He could have done that. But he didn't do that. When the man himself wanted to leave, the president said, no, don't go. Let's work. So I believe it's one of these propaganda that's in the media now. as if the president forced him to leave. The President Mahama will not do that. In fact, the president will not force any of his appointees to leave. If he wants you to leave, he will do that. He will sack you.
Because he has the mandate.
He has the mandate to do that. There's no need the president calling him, I'm forcing you to leave, when he has the right to just, at 6 o'clock news, and I release a listen that I have relieved you of your post. So how do you reconcile that one?
6 o'clock. You make it sound like a revolutionary era.
Of course.
But Nana, the criticism against the Bank of Ghana governor is that, one, he's not been able to superintend over the fiscal policy regime of the country adequately. Because we know that, he issued a number of directives by the close of 2013 or 14 that resulted in a number of issues within the economy as far as the forex market was, likely affecting other sectorial areas as well. What do you say to that?
Yes, my senior colleague just remembered the revolutionary era. 6 o'clock news, bam. Then
no, I think you was just,
I was just
making an example that the president has a
today,
and you reminded him.
It's okay, don't believe that the point.
That is not the context that I was using.
Right, okay.
Don't believe that the point.
We move on.
Right.
Yes, Dr. Wampa wants to leave and is supposed to leave today. And I don't know, but let me ask you. You talked about he's pretending over the fiscal regime. I think more of the monetary regime. That fiscal policy is left with the Ministry of Finance, basically. However, as part of the management, the Finance Management Committee member and all that, being the governor, and he leading or playing a major role in the IMF bailout and all those things. Dr. Wampa, we have paid his due to the nation. He will be remembered on many things, but the most that will be remembered, you'll be remembered for, is one that you talked about, the so-called foreign currency or the forex tightening regulations and policies that brought about the complete collapse of the economy and then doing business in Ghana. You'll be remembered for that. Then this DKM and all those things, financial sort of thing, of which the president nailed him. You just said it. The president was on the floor of Parliament delivering the State of the Nation address, and clearly the signs were on the wall. He wasn't happy with the Dr. Wampa and then the Bank of Ghana so far as the DKM is concerned. Maybe they were just sacrificed on the altar of political expediency. However, it still stands that it is his time, that BOG went to sleep, Bank of Ghana went to sleep, whilst these unscrupulous, fraudulent personalities parading themselves as being financial gurus and all that, offering financial services to the people of Broafo and indeed some parts of this country. To the extent that widows, the very poor in the society, businessmen and women, farmers are now gnashing their teeth. Some have died as a result of that. Some have gone into hiding. Others have their properties, everything taken away from them. And it is constantly haunting these people. The emotional distress, the psychological distress, the economic hardships that they've put themselves in, all because Bank of Ghana, being the regulator, did not do its job as required. And the ultimate responsibility lies with Dr. Wampa. Dr. Wampa will once again will be remembered. You look at the PIAC report today.
Which we'll be discussing next.
Yes. What the Bank of Ghana has done to Ghana's money, Ghana's oil revenue. Some monies has to be refunded by the Bank of Ghana. And here is the man in charge who is leaving today. It is two things. It's true. Civil service, yes. You want to go on accumulated leave and all that. But we also know that people who retirement dates are due are given extension of contract, 1 year or 2. Yes, you are due, but your contract has been extended. It's also there. It's possible.
So what are you saying?
So what I'm saying is, 1, the man might be really tired. He wants to go. 2, it's possible he's being pushed out of. the place through the window.
That's speculation, though.
Yeah, that's speculation.
Okay,
And we have the right to speculate.
We don't have to spend much time on this. So
yeah, we have the right to, because when the president had made an indication during the State of the Nation address that he is not happy with the Bank of Ghana and then the governor, and then the following 2 months, this happens. What do you say? You just add one to two, and you are there.
I know you wanted to add something,
yes,
but as you
yes.
add all that, the interest rate, for example, is now hovering around 26% as a rate from at which the central bank borrows to the commercial banks. And so from the 26%, the commercial banks are also even borrowing as high as 32, 33, 34% to ordinary Ghanaians. And all laid at the doorstep of the central bank.
I think generally the energy crisis affected most of these economic fundamentals.
Now it's crisis.
And I said energy crisis.
Energy crisis.
Of course, all of us.
But that time you said it was a challenge. You never accepted it was a crisis.
I was quiet when you were talking. Can I have
Thank you, Senior. Sorry.
So it affected production. It affected work. It has affected productivity in this country. And for that matter, all the indicators, the fundamentals, we had it wrong. You understand? I mean, now that we have been able to resolve these energy problems, you will see that businesses will strive, businesses will progress, will go on. And so that we all know that there are fundamental problems with some of these things. I mean, the banks, when they are borrowing, loaning money out to people, they consider so many factors. The bad debts. If you go to most of the banks, their books, the number of amount of money they have written off as a bad debt, people providing addresses which are not traceable, and so they consider all these things before coming out with. You understand?
That's a good excuse.
Yeah, and so
if the bank was doing well, we wouldn't be where we are.
As for the macro finance issues with the Bank of Ghana, that's what the president said. I mean, it was wrong. It has affected my people in body. There's one noble dream. It's in Kumasi. You know noble dream. They came to my place and then
they mopped up a lot of cash.
Yes, and they left.
And now they are in the doldrums.
People in body are suffering because of some of this illegal this and that.
All right, so let's move on.
So nobody.
We have to wish the outgoing Bank of Ghana governor well. But let's look at this because now there's a certain PIAC report we call the Public Interest and Accountability Committee report, which has revealed that 222 million Ghana cedi was swept from the annual budget funding account by the Bank of Ghana. And again, it says the report. It says the country lost revenue from gas due to the debts owed by the VRA authority, according to the report. Also, according to the report, total receipts during the first half of the year was 274 compared to 562 received during the same period. And so there's a significant decline in revenues.
I don't know the state of this PIAC reports. And I haven't heard the response by Bank of Ghana.
You're not a member of the committee, are you?
No, but I'm reading that the 2015 semi-annual report, which means it's not finalized. Yes. And normally when audit is conducted, issues are raised and submitted to the various agencies for their response.
Sure.
So I hope that because it is semi-report, which is not finalized, I hope if they have undercover some of these things, it will be forwarded to the Bank of Ghana for them to appropriately respond to it. So we should wait. We should not rush in concluding or accepting the fact that so much has been swept off when the report itself has not been finalized. And that is the formality, that's a format. And so in our ministry, for instance, when after auditing, they will bring their findings to you, they will raise queries, they will raise issues, and you will respond. It is when you are unable to respond before it gets into the Auditor General's report, then it becomes an issue. And so I want to believe that the necessary terms will be done. They will forward their findings to Bank of Ghana for the response. As for the shortfall in revenue regards to the oil, I think it's common knowledge. All of us understand it. We all know if you do a budget anticipating that you will sell a barrel of crude oil at $80, and before you even start implementing the budget, it goes down to $30. Certainly, that guy will create imbalances in scheme of things. And so this is not in addition 50% shortfall. We saw it, and that is why we will have to go back to Parliament to even redo the budget. You understand? Because I mean, budget's just revenue against expenditure, and then your revenue targets you didn't meet your revenue target, so you have to readjust what you want to do with whatever you have. And so I believe some of these things were anticipated, and it is common knowledge that we were not going to meet our revenue target so far as the oil is concerned. Looking at how the oil how oil was performing at the international scene.
Okay.
So this is not.
That's understandable.
But I believe that with regards to the first issue, we shouldn't rush and conclude that much has been swept under the carpet, because the report itself is not
final.
It's not finalized. And so I believe it's one of the queries to Bank of Ghana for them to respond.
Well, I beg to differ. We are talking about a body, Public Interest Accountability Committee, created by an act of Parliament. That's the Petroleum Revenue Management Act. And this body is mandated to go through the books of Bank of Ghana, GMPC, and all others, and report on the management of our petroleum revenue. Their report is not supposed to go to Bank of Ghana for any query. Their report is for the consumption of Parliament, and we all have copies.
But it's not a report. It's a semi.
Please.
Semi-annual report.
Please. Good.
So it's not a report.
Oh, please.
It's not a finalized report.
Please. No.
Yes.
Please. You are confusing provisional report with semi. Please. The semi is half year, half period. So they have the right to do half period.
So your point is?
A quarterly
so your
report.
point is?
So my point is, the report is completed as it is.
It is not.
And, please, because you read further.
So go on with your submission.
Yeah.
So
my take is that, and my submission, humble submission, is that PIAC have identified something that is so dangerous, very, very inimical.
How dangerous is that?
$222.93 million of monies that were supposed to go to the ABFA, the Annual Budget Funding Accounts. These monies have been swept away by the Bank of Ghana against the law. They have flouted the law. The laws, the finance.
And for you, that's the thrust of the matter.
It's the thrust of the matter. And now, the committee goes ahead and makes some recommendations. It says, with your permission, following the revelations in the report, PIAC has offered the following recommendations. You finish a report, a full report, and you cap it with recommendations. That is why it is not provisional. The recommendation says, one, the $222.93 million, that is 666 million Ghana cedis, that was swept by the BOG, Bank of Ghana, should be refunded to the Annual Budget Funding Account as soon as practicable.
Because it cannot be accounted for somehow through the system.
Yes, it's lost in the system. And my senior colleague here, we are the custodians, we are the recipients of this report. So you're saying that
because you are the custodians, rather you should be scrutinizing this aspect.
Yes, and be up and doing.
All I'm saying is that
please, I have the floor.
This is not a final report.
Please, I have the floor. You know. Yeah, this is a final report.
It is not.
And it comes with...
You've made that point.
And it comes with recommendations.
Okay. It is not.
Now, how does that then implicate the Bank of Ghana in many respects?
Yes. The law creates the all kinds of funds that we put the petroleum monies in.
Understandable.
it is nowhere stated that the Bank of Ghana can take any money and put it in its own runnings. It is, they needed this money.
It's not been established in the report. And if I read what has been put there adequately, it's not been established whether they diverted the funds or perhaps they may have used the funds for other purposes. But of course, it's been stated clearly that the provision of the act in terms of how the accounting of those funds should be have been flouted according to what the law says.
They have. And you see that.
Let's look at the last issue about NDC youth going on rampage. I know it's not part of the issues that we have to discuss this morning.
Yeah, but it's so dangerous. Very, very dangerous.
No, don't worry. It's not up to you.
What is dangerous?
Okay.
To national security.
Honorable, the NDC youth in Atebu were told vandalized the party's office, and implicated is a former DC at the center of the storm and also a member of parliament. Now, apparently, who have not been seeing head-to-head on many subjects in the constituency. And it brings to mind the subject of violence in political parties. Now, how do you observe, as a political leader, we can go about resolving some of these differences within the parties internally?
I've heard the NDC party issue a statement that the security agencies should take the matter and then deal with those who,
who are corporate
arrange this violence in Atebubu. And it is about a DCE who was appointed by the president. And the president feels that your services are no more needed. And so step aside. Let a new person has been nominated. And you who were appointed by somebody, insisting that you will not leave office, you will continue to be a DCE. How? This is act of lawlessness. It has nothing to do with political violence and those things. The corporates must be arrested and be dealt with. Simple. So I heard the local government minister also coming out forcefully on this issue.
So you say that as a party,
the DCE,
the law should take its course.
The law should take its course. And as a party, we will not countenance some of these illegal things, some of these people taking laws in their hands, and then because of the pretext of belong to the party. No. NDC has issued a statement that the corporate should be dealt with. And I hope and I'm happy I heard the regional PRO, police regional PRO in the Brong-Ahafo region yesterday, that they have arrested some people, but the DCE has run away and they are looking for him. When they get him, they will put him before court.
This is the issue. Apparently, tension had been brewing between supporters of Mr. Owusu Boateng, the DCE, and those of the sitting member of parliament, Sanja Nanja, after the former, that is Mr. Boateng, was disqualified from contesting the NDC primary in the constituency. Since then, there have been a number of skirmishes between the two factions, and that seemed to have escalated when the president nominated another person for consideration as the new DCE. I know it's an issue that confronts political parties, especially when they are in power. But even when you're not in power, there's always a certain skirmish. You have gone through primaries. Of course, I have to say, distastefully, you even lost your primary for reasons many people, critics will say it's not fair or whatever it is. We're talking about those sort of differences and tension and actions that tend to lead to some of these things.
Yes, a quick one. My brother just said the NDC has issued a statement asking the police to quickly arrest them. But I don't think the police need... Yes, you have.
They have. Arrested some of them.
You have. But the police does not need a prompting from the NDC.
No, I didn't say that. That's not the meaning of what I said. What I mean is that we don't support such vandalism.
And you want the law to take its course.
Point made. So now, the police, as custodians of the law enforcement, apparatus, they will work and they will have to work.
Yes.
It is incumbent for us, the politicians, to leave them to do their work.
That is why we issued that statement.
You need not issue
to
a statement.
To assure the security that we will not intervene.
Please. No, you don't have to. Because you are in government.
That is the angle
that has been the practice that
you
do. That has been the practice that you do when, as a government, you have to leave them offhand. And now you see, these are serious security implications. We are in an electionary year.
What has serious security implications?
He just said the president have appointed you to work. The same appointing authority revokes your appointment, and you and your supporters refuses to. So do you know what will happen when on November 7th, Ghanaians vote NDC out of office? And NDC says we are not going. NDC supporters says even Ghanaians have spoken, but we will not go. Do you know what will happen?
Look, this one is below.
Oh, please.
Below the bed.
No.
You can't compare this.
Oh.
You can't compare.
So your analogy is what?
My analogy is that we are all witnessing or seeing some kind of rehearsals ahead of us. Yes, when people with impudence, the whole president, the appointing authority, he calls you and says, I'll give you an appointment. Go and work. Then at a point in time, he says, yes, thank you. You may be the best of DCEs, but your time is up. Sit aside, let another person come. Then you have the impudence to organize people, arm them,
Nana,
you yourself.
Nana, with all due respect, is it not a matter of the way you have a sitting member of parliament who has a mandate to undertake what and what, and then there's some level of competition, and I'm saying this because I've covered a number of elections as a media person, and so I know the tension usually that is there between somebody else who is holding either a state office or a government office or another appointing office, who also aspires, which is not wrong though, to another office being held mainly by the member of parliament of the area. As a result of that, there's that clash that usually would happen at the end of each election cycle. And I want you to address that.
Yes.
Beyond the politics that you are doing with your last submission.
Yes, fine. It is true. It is inherent in human being and internal elections and politicking. During J.A. Kufuor, His Excellency's time, he knew of this, and out of vision, asked all DCs and MCs who intend to run for primaries to step aside.
You think that was a solution?
Yeah, he asked them to resign. So you resign your position and you go for primaries.
No,
that's
that's not true.
Oh, please.
The instruction was to where they didn't have, where they didn't have a certain member of parliament, the DCs were allowed to contest.
But
the instruction was not to contest certain members of parliament of MPP.
Please,
that's what they did.
We all remember that.
Okay,
good. But he made a submission, and I know that it's a variance to what really happened.
Good. So some kind of sanity.
Why do you introduce discriminatory policy?
Oh, please.
No, that's okay.
Please.
I think he's trying to make a comparison.
Where we did
so you are saying that the directive should rather be that if you know you are interested in a position, just like the way perhaps maybe President Kufuor also did for his minister who wanted to contest who wanted to contest as the flag bearers.
Presidential, yes.
And so went to 17.
Yes.
So some of them had to drop out from the ministerial positions.
All of them. Those who
were interested.
If you are interested. The same thing applied to the DCs. If you want to contest
a certain member of parliament.
A certain member of parliament.
MPP, certain member of parliament.
So you have to.
Where you had the offense constituencies, you allow the DCU to contest.
Yes.
But listen. But the rationale was that to discourage the DCs from contesting them because then, so that you devoid
that kind of friction.
Yes.
So you encourage friction between NDC certain member of parliament, and then you don't see anything wrong with.
We are talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
We're talking about internal politicking.
Yes.
Internal politicking arrangement
to avoid some of these things.
Some of these things. A certain MP. And you, being the DCE, you want to contest him at primaries. The president says, please resign first if you have the interest. Otherwise, you will sack him. You understand? So we manage that kind of thing.
So you think that was the same thing that perhaps the president should have been doing?
They should have done that.
Now, let me ask you this.
But so that I don't take away the violence nature. You see,
don't talk about violence.
These boys were, I mean, they were like professionals.
It's okay.
The way they sought that
my question, my next question is very much related to the subject you wanted to make. Unless perhaps I'm wrong, we've seen a number of some of these disruptions. Especially the feud, I mean, seemingly, whether it's silent or not, between the appointees who are DCMCs, etc. And then sometimes the members of parliament, because it's a primary period, and then even when the situation has elapsed, that tension is still there. It kind of exacerbates the conflict situation, doesn't it? I mean, not...
yeah, it depends on how you handle the issues after the primaries.
It means that your party didn't handle it well.
I didn't say that. I said it depends on how you handle.
You are self-indicting the party.
No, I know.
Yeah, in this case.
I'm developing the point.
Please do.
And I'm saying that it depends on how you handle the issues. There are some people who, after the primaries, you will call them for a meeting, they will come, all right, and they will genuinely accept whatever proposals you give. There are some of the people too, you know, that they will decide that if not me, you will not. And so no matter the effort that you make, they will not compromise. Such persons, it doesn't mean that the party didn't do anything about it.
But they just adamant.
This particular one, Honorable Kronzada personally invited the DCE several times.
But still,
he was even advised not to contest the primaries. But he didn't mind.
Is it ambition or
yes, just want to be an MP. And because he thought he was a DCE, so he was in a better position more than the incumbent to take the seat.
I get your point.
And so that is what happened. I have
to wrap up the discussion though, but I wanted to ask the last question. I have to wrap up the discussion before all this. But I wanted to ask about it. Nana, I wanted to ask.
When state security arrests,
please let us. Are you taking over the program? Are you taking over the program?
He was arrested by the police.
Please.
Two people organized themselves.
Yes, you go ahead.
And then went to the police and
Gladys Oredu is ready with the entertainment. I wanted to, but Gladys Oredu.
But you see,
the Honorable
Dr. Wampa is leaving Ghana, where Ghana...
Please give him a close-up shot of what he's saying.
Yes, Ghana is broke. This is what Dr. Wampa...
No, we reviewed that in a newspaper segment.
Yeah, and that is what Dr. Wampa, the legacy, is leaving for
Ghana
Ghanaians.
is broke in one contest.
IMF, the very one you run to. The
IMF commended government.
We're taking a break. I've had in the studio Henry Kwabena Kokofu, Member of Parliament for Bantama, and the Deputy Minister for Water Resources, Works and Housing, Samson Ahi. He's also a Member of Parliament for Bodi in the Western region. Thanks for joining me, gentlemen. We're taking a break. When we come back, Gladys Oredu will be here with a lot more entertainment.